G'day and welcome back to the to Torment Tides of Ranmenera. Last time round, we agreed to help a young Stichus. We talked to some orphans specifically, and then agreed to help a young Stichus. So we're actually going to proceed along with that plan. We're going to head straight down into the Undercity. There's Underbelly. I know I made this mistake in the past. I'm sure it'll say it in a moment. And then we're going to go chat with the Stichus down here.
Alright, Ren. You can do this.
Ren. I always thought it was Rin. Okay. So let's... So here we have these people. So the first step is talk to Chikekt. And this massive creature looms over you. A scent like lightning in an underground cavern washes over you, and it reminds you of nothing so much as curiosity. It chitters and rumbles, waving its large claws through an expressive dance. Something about these smells, sounds, and gestures seems familiar, a niggling itch in the back of your mind. At least you remember the taxonomy now. This is a Stichus, a huge burrowing insectoid. It points to itself and says, Chikekt! It follows with another stream of high-pitched noise. I found a Stichus in Cliff's Edge. It's hiding in a refuse heap, and the humans want to kill it. Can you help? Or let's go with... What can you tell me about this place? It looks at you intently, then its spatulate fingers begin a slow, careful dance. The sounds it makes are slow chitters that rise and fall in pitch, accompanied by the smell of ozone. Good rock, full of electricity. You have almost the sense of the language, the structure, the feel, the sound and scent. The itch in your mind intensifies. You can feel the memory of the Stichus language wanting to reveal itself. Let's try and remember. So we're going to apply as much effort as we can. Boom.
My studies have borne fruit.
Your mind blurs, a memory racing up from the forgotten depths. You see yourself interacting with the Stichus, the two of you patiently exchanging hand signals, a small box between the two of you, translating your words and thoughts. Each time it conveys a thought or concept, the device sends a stimulus into the appropriate parts of your brain and electricity into your limbs, making you a marionette. Your muscles twitch in sympathy with these memories, and you realize that the Stichus tongue is a jumble of scent, movement, and sound. With the memory, information pours into your mind as if a plug had been removed. The smell of granite fills your nose. As you return to normal consciousness, Chikekt leans forwards. Chikekt smell granite. Knowledge. It rumbles. Its spiracles vent a minuscule trace of gas. The Stichus looks to you, and its body posture and slight movements indicate a question. Does the human speak Stichus? Your muscles remember and you twitch the proper response. Chikekt huffs the scent of lightning. Never speak Chikekt to human, so heard memory from elder, not believe. Human almost sentient, imagine, grub think like Stichus. Speak smart, better now. It claps its hands together. I found a Stichus in Cliff's Edge. It's hiding in a refuse heap, and the humans want to kill it. Can you help? It looks at you for a long moment. It's almost as if it can't believe what it just heard. Is weak, outcast, not feed self, burden on broodmates, should be dead. The odor that rises from the Stichus is dry and musty, the scent of an insect's corpse curled on a windowsill. It's disgusting. Weak or not, doesn't it deserve to hide? It doesn't deserve to die at the hands of a mob. It's your kin. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Well.
I'll remember that.
Again, a long moment in which the Stichus stares at you. You have the sense that it's evaluating you with eyes that see beyond the human visible spectrum. Human care strange. Why so much for a person of stature? A stray breeze whirls a zephyr of bafflement past your nose. But yes, if human care, Chikekt care, we'll save. We'll send broodmates to save outcast. The deformed Stichus sees your approach. It grunts and chitters with pleasure. The scent of newly unearthed stone surrounds it. Friendship, it signs. You survived. How are you now you've returned to your native habitat? Stitcher broodmates, not welcome. Scent anger, want dead. Not dig Nell tunnel, not strong. What are you eating down here? Beg food, all devices, drink lightning from them. Points to a tidy pile of Numenera that sits nearby. Looking more closely, you can see they're mostly electrical power sources. Try keep clean. How are the other Stitcher treating you? Not trait, ignore, but smell. It draws in its spikes and spiracles in healing. You mimic it and catch the faint tang of acrid smoke. Something flammable, maybe. Mark tunnels, warn not enter. Is there anything down here I should know about? Not see. Try survive. Leave the Stichus alone then.
If you're
Okay.
sure it's safe.
And so this is the unsafe tunnel. Don't know why the music just changed. I'll take the shims. You find a jumbled pile of large rocks at the end of this roughly hewn tunnel. The motionless limbs of a Stichus protrude from the mound, the rents in its carapace painted with dried ichor. Move them, and let's see. So you, Eratus, you're a tough, strong fella. He's also got one edge, which is useful. So it's actually, he's got the same base effort. Let's just do this. Yeah, conserve our resources a little. The first rock is the hardest to shift, but once you warm to the task, you're nearly flinging them aside until you've fully exposed the corpse beneath. Examine the uncovered corpse. Clearly the creature was digging this tunnel when the roof collapsed and killed it. Its smaller claw is mangled and smashed, but apart from the crushed thorax and a few gases in its carapace, the body itself is surprisingly intact. Okay, sounds good. So we got ourselves the Stichus out. And that's it. Okay, cool. So the other thing I wanted to do is we don't have enough to level, but apparently Callistige, I guess she must have started with more XP than us, does have enough to level. So she could increase edge or improve effort. I think increasing edge is a better choice. And if we go with intellect, she can't take might. So intellect or speed, I think intellect. I think it's better to stack it for the most part. And in fact she didn't have any edge, so that's helpful. And that's especially helpful if we get into combat, because that now makes her attack free rather than slowly draining us of resources. Although targeting eye, didn't realize she had a targeting eye. Interesting. Okay, cool. And if I look at her inventory, I haven't given her anything. Do I have any Numenera or anything I should give to her? Don't think so. In fact, honestly, I don't see her sticking around that long. I'll probably get rid of her in favor of someone else. I don't really like her that much.
How many of you are there exactly?
Compared to some of these others.
The largest number you can think of. Multiply it by itself as many times as itself, and you will have gotten very nearly halfway there.
Nice. So I
didn't think it was possible, but you just made my head hurt more.
I'm glad that I'm glad they fixed the lack of banter between characters. Apparently there was just a bug that meant that they didn't banter very much. They're also working on some post-release content. So the toy companion should come that way. That'll be good. Zeb, we talked to before. The boy jumps up as you approach. He's ecstatic. You got the Stichus away. Thank you, man. We were so worried the locals were going to get him. I forgot. I went with Southern Orphan rather than, little adorable street urchin. So, yeah. I couldn't believe it when the ground opened up and the other Stitcher took him below. Didn't think they'd ever accept him. He must have spun him quite the tale. I did as I would promise. And we appreciate it. He takes something from inside his shirt. It appears to be some sort of small device. Here, take this. I scrounged it a while back. Never found a use for it. You probably know more about these things. So, charm paste. Ooh. Ooh. Plus 45% on persuasion tasks until next sleep. That is quite a nice cipher. A small tube of reddish aqueous paste. It's warm to the touch and gives off a sweet balmy perfume. When applied to the teeth, it temporarily stimulates facial muscles. From a distance, this twitch can easily be mistaken for a disarming and somewhat trustworthy grin. The perfume is pleasant from a comfortable distance and acts as a very mild intoxicant. It causes the user to seem more approachable and honest than they normally would. Charm paste eventually evaporates, leaving behind a pink, chalky residue. Its effects are limited and tend not to last much longer than the first impression, but plus 45% on persuasion tasks That's pretty nice. Is this your house? Doesn't look safe. We know. That's why we stay outside most of the time. Ever since Savina noticed some cracks around the walls. We only go in there to change clothes and stuff. Does anyone else live back there? There used to be a lady who lived next door. Not a sorceress. She disappeared a while back. Then there was a family 2 doors down. We heard them screaming on the night their house fell into the sea. My sister Nim was friends with their little girl. Ugh. Can you tell me anything else about the area? Hardly anyone comes through anymore. It's nice and quiet, I guess. Better than the rest of Cliff's Edge. Farewell.
Alright, here I go.
So that's it. There's nothing else to grab from there. We could do some more stuff in the pub. I actually... So, I think I'm going to continue with the Stichus quest, but let's go chat with Lord Vuntgen. The likely one is back. Have you found the Stichus yet? The Stichus escaped. The other Stitcher dug a tunnel from below to free it. He frowns unhappily. This is most disappointing. How did they even know it was there? Very strange. Well, I thank you for trying, but sadly I cannot reward you for finding the Stichus when it is lost. My apologies. A fantastic opportunity gone. Such a pity. But hey, boom, 40 XP. Levels for everyone, and these people are unhappy. Well, big deal. Whoop-de-effing do. I really like no one's taking the stuff from that ship. So now, I want to get intellect. That is like, I've wanted to get edge from as soon as it was possible. Intellect edge is the best edge for me right now, because most of the checks I want to do are intellect based. I deliberately took these combat moves based on the fact that they do intellect. And yeah, so that all seems pretty sensible. And now I can also do things like this. I could, if I need to heal myself, I can go, hey, this ability, innovate, me,
yes? I can breathe again.
and boom, see, more healed.
Yes. Now.
Because I went for those medici powers. Okay, so what else do we want to do here? So I think the next part of Loss of Self is actually to go and talk to someone in Government Square, or we can do the Stitcher, both of which are good plans. I'll probably try and recover some intellect somehow at some point. If I go and look at look at me being such a goody two-shoes. If I go and look at these quests, I've picked up quite a number of little secondary quests. Ashen. Okay, so this does not actually... here we go. One of the levies... Yeah, she was the one in Government Square. So I've already been to Government Square. So we kind of want to try and find other people. So it will probably... We'll want to try and talk to people down here. I suspect there'll be one in most areas, actually, which may mean we'll want to go back to the circus as well. But now I've been to the Undercity, or Underbelly. I actually keep forgetting which one is Underbelly. We'll probably find that there's one in each location. Alright, let's talk to Palai, because we're here. This violet-skinned visitant paces back and forth before the cavern's opening. It wears fine clothing that serves to accentuate the tall, thin crest on its head. A symbol has been painted on the crest, mirroring the insignia painted on its chest. Its clothes are finely tailored and well made. The name of the creature's race crawls to your mind. It's a Vargellan. This one has temporarily chosen to be female. Her bulbous eyes flash quickly around her surroundings before focusing directly on you. The council didn't send you, that much is plain. Her voice is high and fluting. You're aware that this cave isn't safe, I hope. What exactly do you want? I was wondering what you're doing here. I am conducting a diplomatic negotiation on behalf of the city. Unfortunately, I'm not dealing with a reasonable species. Her crest flutters irritably. I've made no progress at all. Days wasted in this miserable tunnel, and I have nothing to show my superiors. Maybe I can help? Because I'm a protagonist? She looks you up and down, considering. Doubtful, but you might have other skills I can use. The circumstances call for a new tactic, and these levies cannot do what needs to be done. Nor can I. The Virgil notes, if you truly think you can help, let's put you to the test. She waves off the levies who flank her. Her gestures are short, choppy, sharp, and irritated. It's these damnable Stitcher. I speak to them. I offer, I control, negotiate, and threaten. And they persist in their digging, and every day another house on the cliffs above slips into the sea. If the digging does not cease, the city itself may crumble, so here is my request. Find a way into their lair, remove their precious eggs, and return them to me. These hostages shall ensure the future of the city above, and also turn a tidy profit if I could get them all. If you can negotiate a lasting settlement that does not require drastic measures, you may also pursue that method, but I've been trying for days with no success. I think I can help. Good. We need to stop the Stitcher before they bring down the entire substructure of the city. She pauses and lowers her voice. If you manage to infiltrate their lair, be sure to acquire all of their eggs. I suspect they have multiple clusters, and we will need them all if we wish to negotiate from a position of strength. She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside. Once you're in the lair, activate this. It will show you all the tunnels, the egg clusters, and the Stitcher themselves. Better to know what you face before you charge ahead. Thank you. So, that gave us yet another cipher. But what we'll do is we'll pass that one over to Rin. And there we go. I mean, I do have a nice high cipher limit. It seems to be getting higher than I anticipated, actually. But I guess I don't have any bonded slots right now. And we've got things like this harness here. And yeah, so the whole point of these things is that we're meant to use them fairly frequently. I'm not going to use the shimmering glass, but do I have anything that boosts? Yeah, let's use this. Choose an ally. That would be me. There we go. We've got ourselves 3 intellect. So we can do some of these bits and pieces. Ooh, these are the muscles this guy, this is the meat this guy grows, I guess. Alrighty, so let's see what we got. We got Mappa here. From a distance, it looks as though this mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit of finely patterned lines in white, yellow, and pale blue. On a closer examination, it becomes apparent these are tattoos, and they cover nearly the entirety of his body, even his shaved head. His actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they've seen hard use. He's studying the meaningless swirls and whirls on his arms and mouthing names that mean nothing to you. Salvi, Balant Ergau, 10 trees. He looks up at you and you see the strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines on its center and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. He smiles as you approach, a broad beaming grin that says he considers you a friend. I'm Mapper, he says, extending his hand. A new face, new faces mean new places. I've been everywhere around here. I found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten, met all sorts of people. He frowns. Can't say I've cared much for some of them, it's true. His voice is fast, insistent, and incisive. Still I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out, sometimes they flare up. I want to link them together. I want to be a bridge. You say you want to be a bridge. How do you even do that? He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. I travel, I see places. I map them out on my skin, and maybe inside me, I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look, and they've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head, lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places that I need to know that I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. Where'd you get all them sweet tats? These are not tattoos, they're maps. I mean, haven't we already had a conversation about this? I mean, it's pretty much the same stuff. Surely that was obvious. It's worthless to anyone else because he's got the fancy eyepiece and the mutation, so, works out pretty well. Where have you been? All sorts of places. All over the Sagas Protectorate, Oasis of Mirajola, Valley of Dead Heroes, Colne Village, the ruins of Archopelasia, and all around the Black Cube. Towers of birds where the Thirdless fell, even up past the Clockakala to Vralk. As he speaks, the lines of his body shift and move, coming into new prominence with each word. Every place was a treat, an experience. Did you know most people don't go more than 50 k's from the village of their birth, if that? I've been tremendously lucky, my friend. He smiles down at his maps, then he looks back at you and says more quietly, if you plan to travel, I'd avoid the grasslands, though. The birds will take your meat for their meals and your bones for their nests. Okay. So, let's do this. I think we now need to go talk to the Stitcher. But first, let's have a quick look at some of these things.
Ready.
A dark sphere inhabits almost every socket in this obelisk that stretches toward the cavernous ceiling. No one else seems to be paying the odd structure any attention. It's simply here, like most Numenera. And if it can't be used, it's just part of the scenery. The orbs gleam in the dim light. You lean towards them. Are they glass? Jewels? Eyes? Perception. A flicker from one of the orbs above you catches your eye. You do look up just in time to see the image of a woman leaning towards the surface of the glass from the inside. Touch the nearest sphere. Your finger barely grazes the glass before it displays the image of a furred creature touching the surface from the other side. Purple vines threaded with veins of light hang from the branches of the trees behind it. You lift your fingertips and darkness follows the creature. The orb is opaque once more. The orbs appear to reflect whatever action is performed in front of them. So, let's tell the orb a secret. With your lips nearly touching the surface, you whisper a thought you've never told anyone. A too tall, narrow-hipped being, a visitant, appears in the glass, long fingers clasped. Meeting your eyes, it speaks words you cannot hear. You can, however, sense its thoughts. They tickle an odd part of your mind. Dizziness overcomes you. You suddenly know the visitant speaks stolen words and blood was spilled to take them. Even though the cause was just, the visitant is deeply ashamed. It fades into the black of the orb. Hum a little song into an orb. Nothing appears in any of the dark orbs. Instead, the whisper of many voices joined in song curls from the obelisk, so low only you can hear it. Let's make a rude gesture at the structure. You make an the most obscene gesture you can think of at the glass. A young woman with rainbow pupils appears in the glass, flicking her fingertips across her chin. She nods, grinning as if imagining your shock at her daring. She insulted us with her finger. He shakes his fist at the glass. Come out and do that again, I dare ya! A towering creature of flesh and crystal muscles shakes a glittering fist back at him. Ha ha! Another challenger! Come out of there, you cowards! I'll fight you one by one. You tell him, Eris. All together. He glares at the now dark glass and says, hiding in the dark, eh? I thought so. Make an even ruder gesture at the structure. The narrow, rainbow-eyed woman rewards her gesture with one of her own. She jabs a finger at Annie, grinning at her own audacity. What did that mean? What did any of that mean? Let's try again. Ah. Feeling better, dear? Yes. Companions. The companions also comment. Fine. Let's touch the nearest sphere. The third creature you saw before touches the orb again, bewildered. Okay. And I think that's enough of that then. But hey, a little bit of XP. And then we got all of these things. Oh, it's Allegan! Yeah, that's right, he's down here. So let's see, if we talk to Month Pa. This lissom Jack down on his luck, judging from his bare feet and dusty jerkin, takes in his surroundings with a hopeful gaze. As you approach, he smiles and throws out his arms in greeting, which reveals the tools of his trade on his belt. He puts a finger to the side of his nose and gives you a wink. How now? Help me? Got any plug for a topside slipper? Hey, it's my old friend. Wonder if she's got any new work for me. Let's go with... Say again? He nudges you another. You know, friend. Any wall dancing for a nimble? She's just messing with me. Bet she's got something good. Possibly. Sunshine, sea slide or landward? Ooh, well, I'm pretty sure it's landward, buddy. Lime with sugar. Do it in my sleep, but I'll still need a sniff. You catch me? Yes. Good enough. Good enough for me. Works work. Yes, I can catch you. You can't? You don't speak cat at all, do you? What are you doing leading me on for? This isn't the woman I knew. Strange. She's a spitting image. I was just having fun. That kind of fun could get you hurt in certain circles, but no worry. Should have spotted you for a kid the moment I saw you. Never mind. So new to the underbelly, or just visiting? Or looking for something in particular? Who are you? Matpa, professional fenestrationist. Recently arrived in the big city from fair Kyokurin, at your service. Where is Kyokurin? What, you never heard the old song? Do you know your way to Kyokurin? He starts singing, in the back of beyond, east of the spire and west of the rund. That's where the girls are footloose and free. That's where my sweetheart is waiting for me. No? No any favourites? Ah, well. What's a fenestrationist? Ah, well, I have windows for a living. Open them, crawl into them, relieve them of their valuable contents. Yeah. Okay, not a defenestrationist, I guess. Okay. What can you tell me about this place? What can you tell me about the shins in your purse? Hey, you got a few to spare? I'm scared at the moment. Let's make it hard to remember things. Sure, here's 3. He snatches the coins and disappears into his ragged shirts. Much obliged. Now, he rubs his beardless chin. Where to start? You hear about the people who live here, or maybe citrus tunnels, on manufacturing. Those dendro herb bastards. Maybe you heard about the murder and you're looking for a thrill. Give me a general take on the underbelly. It's bottom of the ladder. As they say around here, no more down to go. But that's a good thing, right? Means you got nowhere to go but up. He passing thought dims his cheery expression. Unless you drown or get swallowed by the bloom or something. And what about the people here? Won't talk about everyone, there's a lot of us here, but I hit the highlights, or lowlights, I guess. There's Folsom, of course, he runs things around here, not officially, mind you. He's just the sharpest shaking and the hardest screw is all. Michaela, who sells bits and bobs at her stall. Merc, the meatmonger, who sells meat. He pats his chest. Tell Merc I sent you if you pay him a visit. He gives me a shin for each referral. Let's see, there's Aligon, the Aeon Priest, who isn't anymore. Still knows his stuff, though. Mapper, crazy cock who's covered in maps, and he pauses, thinking. Well, I suppose there's Crooked Quake. She's not very interesting, but she looks funny if that's your float. He spreads the sense. That's all it's worth mentioning. So none who are turning into someone else. What do you know about the Stitcher tunnels? They've dug them all over the place around here. I only can't see through the ends of most of them since they fill them with loose dirt only they can dig through. What about the manufactory? That's a hard plot right there. Whoops. Folks should think we're smart enough to know honest work is bad for you, slaving away at those furnaces and giant constructs watching over them like metal slave drivers. I only looked at him once, scared the wits out of me, so I never went back. What about the Dendro O'Hare? The cannibals? Huh, sometimes I think they do it just so they can be crazier than anyone else. I know they got some kind of mumbo-jumbo reason for eating dead folks, but I think they just like making people squirm, you know? Okay. And if we ask him again, it's like, said they were just showing off eating people so they could say they're crazier than the rest of us. Maybe. Keep an eye, kid. Okay. So there's Queek that we'll probably talk to. Pauper. This is the Pauper. Chain and God cultist. Yeah. Oh, hey. The cultist glances over at you casually. His eyes widen when they reach your face. I heard you were intending to explore the city, but I never imagined you'd find your way down here. What an honor. How can I help you, Vessel? Examine the cultist. The man is pale, dirty, and nervous. His stealing glances at your tattoo every chance he gets. He flinches when he notices you studying him. Never have I seen it so close. What have I done to earn his blessing? Farewell. So I'm just gonna go and look at you. Underbelly Thug. Michaela. Mappa. Okay. So let's see what Michaela has here. In a stall filled with all manner of dusty parts, connectors, and strange devices, a woman tinkers with a half-assembled power source, peering at its through spectacles that have seen several adjustable lenses. Her long white hair is disheveled, and the skin of her thin frame is marked with small scars and burns. She looks up curiously as you approach. Welcome to Michaela's Mechanicals. I've got a bunch of old broken stuff and a few things that work. You want any of it? Let me know. Where do you get your stock? Trade, mostly. There's an old priest named Zalagan who brings me things now and then. Doesn't like to tell me where he finds them, so I don't ask. I get stuff from Little Man too, though sometimes his stuff's too hot to touch. Even a few things from the Stitcher, if you can believe. You trade with the Stitcher? Now and then, they dig up all kinds of things in those tunnels of theirs. Picky about what they trade for, though. Only want things that'll hold a lightning charge, flashbacks, generators, that kind of thing. Which is weird now I think of it, because their eggs hold a charge. Like little batteries they are. I've even converted a few of them to power things. Don't tell the Stitch like that. It'd be like using a baby for firewood in their eyes. Let's see what you got for sale. So, we got something that would boost our intimidation and damage at the cost of intellect. That'll be fine if we put it on someone that we weren't going to use intellect with. But I don't think there's really anyone there that we want to do that. Sting charge? Not bad. Short ranged weapon. It's probably better for us than these things, honestly. Root Spike is a cipher that immobilizes an enemy. Does a fair chunk of damage. And then there is a leather harness, which we're not interested in. So, I mean, of these things, I could get rid of these two and swap it for this, which will do more damage. It does energy damage, but on the other hand, I could just use my... I think it's better to just use my abilities for that.
Of your sisters with you? Doesn't it get loud?
We work well together. Most of us, anyway. We share, we gossip. I am never lonely. And I am in the company of my favorite people.
But what about when you have to go to sleep and one of them won't stop talking?
She learned to stop, darling. We taught her.
Nice. Alright, well with that, I think I'm going to leave it for the night. Have a good one. Bye. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you spending the time and effort watching the videos I make. If you'd like to watch more, on the left there should be another video from this playlist. On the right there will be whatever YouTube recommends. And in the center there is a convenient subscribe button, just in case you need it.